Michael Shawn Hickenbottom was born on July 22, 1965 in Chandler, Arizona to a family of 4 and a military father. Although he goes by the name Shawn Michaels, he never liked the name Michaels as a child and preferred to be called Shawn. When Shawn was 6 years old, he started playing football and was the captain at Randolph Air Force Base. At the age of 12, Shawn became interested in professional wrestling and once performed at a wrestling routine while attending Randolph High School. He went on to Southwest Texas State University, San Marcos, Texas, but dropped out and went into becoming a professional wrestler. He began his training under the tutorship of Jos Lothario, a Mexican professional wrestler. At this time, he adopted the name Shawn Michaels. His debut match at the National Wrestling Alliance (NWA) on October 16, 1984 was against Art Cruz, whom Shawn Michaels lost the match to. Still, his performance was impressive to a lot of the veteran wrestlers, including Terry Taylor. In 1985, he had his first match for World Class Championship Wrestling at the NWA territory in Dallas, Texas. By April 1985, he left for another NWA territory in Kansas City called Central States Wrestling. There, he defeated the Baton Twins along with Martin Jannetty as his partner to win the NWA Central States Tag Team Championship. Still, they later lost the title to the Bartons. Nationally, Shawn made his debut at the age of 20 when he wrestled Bud Hacken at the American Wrestling Association, a match he won. Again, he teamed with Marty under the Midnight Rockers name and won the AWA World Tag Team Championship against Joe Summers and Buddy Rose. The Midnight Rockers were then signed to World Wrestling Federation in 1987 but was fired 2 weeks after their signing. They returned to AWA and won their second tag team titles, and after a year there, they were re-signed to WWF. The Rockers won their first WWF Tag Team Championship from the Hart Foundation on October 30, 1990. Still, Shawn returned to WWF alone the next year after having superkicked Marty and threw him through a glass window after one of their tag team matches. Shawn was successful at WWF from the early to mid-1990s, mostly known as the Boy Tom. Then he left the company in 1994. Shawn returned to WWF in 1996 at the Royal Rumble match, which he won for the second time in a row. He also won the WWF World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 12. Shawn vacated the championship at the Thursday Raw Thursday after he sustained a knee injury that saw him retire. Shawn had his knee surgery and returned a few months later to win the WWF Tag Team Championship with Stone Cold Steve Austin. At the 1997 match with the British Bulldog, Shawn defeated Bulldog and became the first Grand Slam champion. He again defeated The Undertaker at the Hell in a Cell match, which was rated with a 5-star by Dave Meltzer. Shawn became the holder of both WWF World Heavyweight and European Championship. However, he lost the European Championship in a match months later. Shawn wrestled The Undertaker again in defense of his title and won the match, but was left with a back injury that made him unable to compete in the following months. Shawn returned to the ring after he recovered from his injury and wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14, whom he had feuded for several months before. Shawn was defeated at the match and was forced into retirement as a result after several months away from WWF. Shawn made a surprise return as a guest commentator on July 13 episode of Raw is War. He became the new Raw commissioner. Shawn returned to the ring on January 29 episode of Raw. He and John Cena defeated Rated RKO to win the World Tag Team Championship, but Cena made Shawn submit to STFU while he retained the championship as a lone winner. Shawn wrestled Ric Flair in one of his career-threatening matches at WrestleMania 24. He became known as the one who ended Flair's wrestling career. Shawn, however, announced his retirement again a month later from professional wrestling. But after Jericho punched Shawn's wife in the face, Shawn severely beat Jericho that the referee that night called for a match between them. Jericho defeated Shawn at the World Heavyweight Championship match and also at the No Mercy and again at the championship ladder. Shawn recuperated from his defeat and became the first person to defeat Vladimir Kozlov, which granted him a slot to wrestle The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25, which was a highly acclaimed match that saw The Undertaker defeat Shawn. Shawn made his next appearance in a series of WWE programming segments that aired on August 10, 2009 episode of Raw. It was here that he made another decision to leave WWE. Shawn was moved to retire after an employee asked about his son Cameron, with Shawn telling the employee that his son just turned 9. The employee in response said Shawn's son was halfway gone, implying that the boy would soon turn 18 and leave the house. This had a significant effect on Shawn, who did not want to be absent from his son's growing years or when he left home. This led to the decision to have 2010 as his last active wrestling year. That same year, Shawn won the Slammy Awards for the Moment of the Year owing to his match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 26. He was also inducted into WWE Hall of Fame class of 2011. After a series of comebacks and hiatus, Shawn became a trainer in 2016 at the WWE Performance Center and returned to WWE Raw to promote his film. Again, he made a special appearance in 2018 to promote the match between The Undertaker and Triple H to be wrestled at Super Showdown. But he played more than a promoter when he assisted Triple H in defeating The Undertaker, which ended his long feud with The Undertaker. Shawn was first married to Teresa Wood, and after their amicable divorce, he married Rebecca Corky, aka Whisper, a former WCW Nitro girl, on March 31, 1999. Together, they have 2 children. Shawn posed for a Playboy magazine in 1996 and was ridiculed for it by his fellow wrestlers for being ignorant that it had mostly homosexual readers. Shawn was once a user of strong substance, which he abused, alienating his friends at that time, and even contemplated suicide at some point in the late 1980s. His one reason for quitting was that he did not want to become a negative influence for his young son. In 2002, Shawn became a born-again Christian. Though he was raised a Catholic, he now identifies himself as a non-denominational Christian. He has also appeared as a guest on the Trinity Broadcasting Network. He has his outdoor television show, Shawn Michaels Macmillan River Adventure, which he hosts. Shawn has been ranked as one of the greatest wrestlers in wrestling history. Several of his matches have brought him praises, including receiving 15 Match of the Year awards. His match against Ric Flair was named the Match of the Decade and also received 5-star. Shawn's match against Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14 in 2016 was ranked as the best main event in the history of WrestleMania. Also, he co-founded the D-Generation and was its original leader. Shawn has held the World Championship 4 times and was a 2-time Royal Rumble winner, the first champion of WWF Grand Slam, 4th WWF Triple Crown champion, and has been honored with 2 inductions into the WWE Hall of Fame as a single wrestler and as part of the D-Generation X. To cap this all, he has won the reader vote for Pro Wrestling Illustrated Match of the Year 11 times and is worth $17 million. Thank you very much for watching our videos. We'll appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends. We love you.